Okay, welcome back to part 2. So today we're going to test what we meant to test the other day. Small pulley versus the large pulley on the alternator. But as you remember last time, follow me. Last time we had an issue. The alternator wasn't even charging because the wire wasn't doing anything. And we checked and we had a draw on the battery. Turns out the draw was just what I thought. It was the voltmeter, which is fine. We disconnected that. We actually ran it on the toggle switch, so if he wants to check it, he can still do it. The meter's installed. It's wired real nice. We didn't want to take it out, and it is a nice diagnostic feature, so we left that in place. So that was the only short we had. It's fixed. The wire is in place. Pulleys are in place. The rain is in place. We just got ready to video, and it started raining just enough to mess the car up. So what are you gonna do? So this is what we're gonna do today. To repeat what I said on last video, but we're gonna test the voltage and the amps at the alternator. And this time I'm gonna write it down because I'm trying to remember these numbers and I forget about 2 seconds after I see the numbers. So we're gonna check the voltage and the amps here. I'm gonna write it down. We're gonna go to the back. This will be at idle with just the water pump and a fuel pump on, just the regular accessories. We'll check the idle voltage and amps at the battery, and then I'll have Jay run the RPMs up to about 2,000, 2,200, wherever you can hold it, and we'll check the voltage and the amps again back there. And then we'll come up, swap pulleys, do the test again, and see what we get. Are y'all ready? Good, I am. Okay, Jay. Let's fire it up. Oh man, I didn't write that down either. I'm doing a crappy job of writing this stuff down. I think at 2,000 RPM we got up to 1280-ish. I think it said 1282. And then the voltage back here at idle was basically battery voltage, as I recall. Do you remember what that was?
It dropped down.
I think it was 12.3. Man, y'all, I'm doing a crappy job of writing this stuff down.
I think it was like 12.2.
3-ish.
It did drop down.
Man, I'm doing a crappy job here. I didn't check the amps there, but the amps here. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video. So, anyway, let's go change the pulley. We kind of see what we need to see right here. We're gonna change the pulley and put the small one on and kind of go from there. So, yeah.
We should go.
Okay, we're back. I got the alternator off, and I'm gonna finish talking about what I was talking about the other day. Between a 12 SI and a 10 SI alternator, I found a 10 SI alternator. You can tell these really easy because the back of a 12 SI alternator has large air intakes, and a 10 SI alternator again just has these teeny tiny ones. Other than that, they're identical. This is a one-wire alternator. People pay big money for that. It's just bypassed internally. If you have a regular alternator like this, looks like that. There's your regulator right there, or your I lost my train of thought what that was. But if you want to turn this into a one-wire alternator, it's very easy. Loop a wire from your battery post to this number 2 terminal. Is that number 2? Yep, that's number 2. From battery post to number 2 terminal, and then just don't use anything this number 1 terminal. This number 1 terminal is for your battery light that comes on the dash. We don't care about those battery lights, but jumper here to here, here to the battery, boom, you have an instant one-wire alternator, and there you go. So that's 10 SI, 12 SI. Let's put this aside, and we're going to swap this pulley over from this big giant behemoth pulley. Gloves make things a lot funner. Uh-oh. This is the one that's really hard to get off. Oh, oh. Never mind. Came right off. Look at that. I'm going to drop this pulley on there. And this back on there. And I apologize. I'm not keeping up on my chart very well, but when I edit this video, I'll put somewhere in the video if I'm off on those numbers. So. Okay, I'm gonna get this put back on the car, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, we got the alternator back on with a small pulley. So let's see what we got. This time, I'm really gonna try really hard to write down the numbers. I just keep forgetting, but again, I'll go through the video and I'll make edit notes up there that I see. So, Jay, let's go ahead and fire it up. Okay, did I check the amps back here with the large diameter pulley? I don't remember. I think I may have. I'll have to go back to the video and look at that. But we were getting 100 amps back here now, which is nice. And we see we were getting 12.3, basically battery voltage with the large diameter pulley at idle back here. And now we're getting 13.9. And this is with the accessories on. This is with the water pump, the fan, the fuel pump, lights. And when I'm saying lights, everything but the headlights we just run park lights, drag racing. So for now I'm seeing the small pulleys winning. I hope I haven't skewed these results any. I don't think I have. But wait, there's more. We have something else we're gonna do. Check this out. I'm gonna leave my paperwork back here because I keep forgetting anyway. So something else we're going to do that we talked about was this wire right here is a 10 gauge wire, which is okay, but we ran an 8 gauge wire. So we're going to see if there's a difference between 10 gauge and 8 gauge, and then we'll do another test after this. So hang tight while I change these wires around, and we'll do another test. Okay, so here's what we did. Here's the 10 gauge wire. We swapped it to 8 gauge wire. That's the only change we made. And we still have the small pulley on. So I think we're going to get the same voltage. We're still probably going to get 14.5. We were getting 25 to 30 amps with the small wire. So let's see if we get it the same here. More importantly, I'm kind of curious what we'll get at the back. What kind of surprised me was we actually got 100 amps at the rear at 2000 RPM. Whereas with the larger pulley, quite honestly, I don't think I checked the 2000 RPM amps. I'll have to go back and check the video. If I did, I'll put it up here somewhere. But we were getting 25 to 40 amps back here, and it's kind of bouncing around. I think it's because that pulley's so big with the lope of the engine, it's speeding up and slowing down, I guess. That might be where we're getting a variance. But either way, 25 to 40 versus, you know, we got 100 amps right there. So let's see what we get with the 8 gauge wire. Jay, fire it up. Okay, so what did we just see here? I saw something that was weird. So with the smaller gauge wire, this is 10 gauge, we were getting 14.5 volts. With the larger gauge wire, we were getting just slightly less than that, 1440, 1445, but we were getting more amps. Interesting. Then back here at idle, we're getting 14 volts, so better than the rest, and 35 amps, a little bit higher than the rest. And then we ran the RPM up. Wow, that's quite a change. It jumped from about 1305 to 1350, and then 90 amps. So we dropped some amperage, we picked up some voltage, but that's a lot of voltage. A wire change went from 1305, this is with everything on. You had oh, the lights were on, yeah. So we had 1350. Very interesting. Well, if we saw these changes, you know what we need to do?
What's that?
We need to run the 10 gauge and the 8 gauge wire together. What do y'all think? That's a good idea?
Whoa.
Yeah, let's run the 8 gauge and 10 gauge wire together. I can't even imagine what's going to happen, so let's try it out.
You're crazy.
I'm crazy. I'm going to hook that up, so let me get that hooked up. I'll be back to you. Okay, here's what we got. So we have both wires hooked up, the 10 gauge and the 8 gauge. So let's see what that does, and then we'll look at the results after we're done. Okay, Jay, fire it up. Runs great. Getting gassed out back here. Holy cow. Alright, it's getting dark. Let's go around front and let's see what we got here. Okay, Jay, come check out what we got.
This I gotta see.
Okay. Well, that's another interesting one there. So the voltage is about the same. I purposely didn't test amps up here. I don't know, I just didn't want to. Then back here we got 14.2 volts at idle. So that's even better than before. Very interesting. And then at RPM, that's even better than before. So 13.7, and we had a best at 13.5. And the amperage is a little bit less than what's shown here, but I think, and it's kind of what I'm suspecting, is it's shared between two wires now. So yeah, do I add those together? I don't know, but we're getting way more voltage. So you know what, The guy that wired this car did a really good job. Everything's zip tied, the wires are nice. You should see under the dash. It's very, very nice wiring. So we're gonna leave all that stuff inside. I think we're gonna leave the 2 wires hooked up. What do you think, Jay?
I don't think it's going to work against me.
No, that's gonna be real nice. So we went from racing with the alternator not doing anything, just racing on battery voltage for the last year and a half or so,
Yes.
to now we have a working alternator. And not only is it working, holy crap, it's putting out 13.7 volts versus, I think the lowest here is 12.8, and that's with the lights. Again, no headlights. We don't run headlights drag racing. So lights, fan, water pump, fuel pump. There you go. It's for everything. So that's really cool. I think this is a very eye-opening experiment for even me. I'm going to double check some of these numbers when I go back to the video, and I'll make corrections. But I think that's pretty close to what we were seeing. So with that, it's getting kind of dark. Thank Jay, cameraman Rich.
Oh no, thank you.
Oh no, we're gonna go rounds. We're going to Vegas next week, right?
Yes.
Just wait till you see the bill.
Yeah.
The Summit ET Finals.
Summit ET Finals next week, Vegas. We'll be there. So I might catch video there. I don't know if it's 100 degrees again, which I don't think it's gonna be. Then if it's 100 degrees, I'm not videoing. Ain't gonna happen. So anyway, there you go. Let me know what y'all think about these results in the comments. Let me know if there's something I could have done different or better. And I'm not going to redo the test, but just let me know anyway. I don't really care, but that's cool. Peace out.